Cheers. All right, Matt?
Yeah.
We're going to net it this side, you up?
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay. Here we go. Come on. Come on. As soon as his head pokes out, that's it. Excellent. Well done on the big one.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Fluke that one up.
Blue. All good angling.
It did look like, you know, when you just look at it in length, and you just think that's 40 pound. Yeah. Like, it looked massive, didn't it? It was 38.4. It's like, was it a pound? It's not many mils off. Yeah, so I got all the rods out of the rain. I was soaked. And then literally, he had his bite, and then what, about half of it? But yeah. I mean, she ended up to. Was that a tide there?
Welcome to Blue Pool. Something a bit different. It's a little lake. It's got a good head of carp in it, and there's what, I think there's 7 of us on. I've just turned up, so I've got what's left. But my watercraft, I just watched Alcor from Gardner Tackle take one out of here, low 20.
You're up again, mate. Yeah, good. I was next door and I had 18. Or might have been even be here.
The thing is, the map doesn't reflect the swim numbers anymore.
Right.
So that's swim 7 and that's 4.
Yeah. Well, wait. You okay?
Just some time.
Let's go in. Oh, it's nothing's bloody up. Drops off these margins, doesn't it? So now, you know what you want.
It's up here, alright. You can, yeah, it's fine. I'll just try and keep it right to that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's got deep margins, otherwise it just shoot off.
Yeah. In a bit of a...
Serious fucking look. What's that bad deal?
Well done, son. Well done. That's lifesaver.
And there's been a couple of fish moving about. So we got Chris down here. He's been getting done repeatedly. So he's after a bit of revenge. Chap over there, Matt, has had 7. So he's top rod. We've got Richard over there, and we've got another Karl, and we've got Dave Lane at the end there. Got Matt Eaton right next to me. Matt's blanking. But I'm sure he's going to sort that out in no time. Yeah, they've been coming along quite close by the looks of things. I just saw one about 20 yards out there, quite up in the layers. The weather has been awful, and it's just starting to rain now. So hopefully we get set up, and it's, you know, let's see what happens. But you know, no pressure. But as I said, the weather, it has been really bad, and it's normally what I get when I go. So we've got a bit of rain coming this afternoon, so let's get set up and let's have a look what we're going to do, and hopefully get a few fish on film, I hope. Right, I'm going to have a quick lead about. It's right, what's the time? 12:30 in the day, so I'll spook everything out the area very quickly. Karl told me a couple of bits, which is very kind of him. What's out there? It does seem a little bit barren, which is not really my ideal cup of tea. I'd like it to have a load of weed, and you know, you can chuck a lead in there and find a nice little spot in amongst some weed and you think, oh, I've got it going. But when you're presented with a lake that's got very little in regard to features, it's difficult as to where to put it. Obviously you're looking for some firmer spots, you know, where they've been feeding quite hard, and you know, and sometimes it's not a bad idea to try and find stuff that's a little bit softer, maybe, that is more appetizing to them than some of the hard spots. But generally I'll probably fish some of the firmer bits where they're used to being fed. Probably the best thing I could do is launch it really long and just fish right on the back of Matt. No, I won't be doing that. But yeah, he's coming over to somewhere over that way, and I've got this bit over here, and I say Karl sort of told me whereabouts he was, and there's been noticing a bit of bubbling here and there, so I don't want to go too mad. I just want to have a quick flick about just where I feel that's going to work for me. I don't want to overbait too hard. Karl put a bit of bait out last night, nothing much. They sound like they're pretty clued up because, as I said earlier, Chris has been getting completely turned over. He said he's been watching them absolutely sheeting up with all the bait that he's put down, and you know, just doing him. So he's pulling his hair out. Matt's going to move further along, so we got a bit of water. We're not in a sort of hemmed in zone. So let's give it a go and get some rods out. Oh, what's happened there? Okay, I found two spots that I really like. Bit of weed just down here to my left, so that is encouraging because I can fish just on the back of it. It's got like a shelf that's running, it goes quite deep. So just on the back of the shelf where there's some weed that's coming up on the shelf, there's a nice, very hard, clear area just behind that. So I'm going to use like an inline lead on there. I don't know what Chris is doing, but if they're doing him down there, then I'm just going to try everything I possibly can to make sure that if the fish picks anything up, it's going to get nailed as quickly as possible. I've just got one more spot to find, but we just had another torrential downpour. Well, I'm dry, but stupidly I left all my gear out, and so yeah, so I've got wet chair, wet hoodie. Well done, Dan. Anyway, let's get back to it, try and get it sorted. That's fine, so we just want it just there. That's a big smile.
Got one already?
Oh no, it's all part of the preparation, Matthew.
Out towards the cormorant, but not as far as the cormorant.
No, that's where I am.
Not that far short.
I've gone past it. It's a bit silty area.
Yeah.
And then you
Fern bulb.
coals on the gravel.
And to the right of that as well, sort of at the highest point of that really green tree.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There, so right of the cormorant, similar sort of range of 45, 50 yards, and sort of middle, this side of middle, but.
Yeah, interesting.
And also out here as well, I caught out there.
Oh, okay.
About 30 yards. But you got to have one down the edge, haven't you?
One down here, I've got one over here. It's just on some weed around it.
Is it?
Yeah, just in front of some weed. I quite like it.
Cool.
So it feels alright.
But I'd never had anything off that edge on. I've never seen them in there.
Oh, that's the thing. You just had one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, they're in there. Now, if you look,
That's probably because of lack of weed.
possible. If you go in there now and you don't see them, there's another slot to the right. Go in there and you'll probably see them in there.
Oh, okay. I'll have a notice.
There's two paths in. I'll tell you exactly where you caught that one from the edge.
So if you let out. Yeah, I just had a little feel about Richie. I was looking at the end of that tree.
This side of the sling, you see the mossy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're here. It's going.
This side of it.
Yeah, you can flick it so it come right in here. Right there where that
Yeah.
is. That's exactly well in it.
But if you don't see them in here, if you go to the next slot, just behind us, you'll see them in one of the fed.
Well, we're definitely fishing towards him. I've just seen one here.
Final rod is going to go along this margin here. We just had a little nose, me and Matt, and there's a couple of good fish that come in there. But if you ever get a chance at day ticket lakes, or lakes that you don't fish often that tend to be a bit more prolific than others, it's always a good place to try your rigs. So here I'm going to have a little play with some couple of rigs. First one, I'm fishing on literally gravel. They've polished it. It's like we're going to go under a tree, which is like it's all overhangs. So there's nothing dangerous under there. There's nothing snaggy. But I want to fish up to that. So I'm going to try and fish as close to the deck as I can, really, over a little bit of crumb, pellet, and a bit of corn. A couple of bits of amino juices in there for a bit of flavour. It's banned here, lead core, so we're using lead free, which I actually prefer at the moment. I really enjoy using it. It's £45 Camflix lead free by Gardner. Really good gear, really supple and limp, and it does exactly what I want it to do. I want it to stay on the bottom. Perfect. Got an inline lead, which is a breakaway. It's on the new dual swivels. There's 2 rings on this, so it can come away. I don't like the thought of any leads being attached to any rig, so I'd always try and make it break free. I know there's an argument for dumping leads in lakes and whatever, but the amount of bites I get a year, it doesn't really matter. In all seriousness, no, I any trailer that's got a lead to it is not good. This is a variation of a German sort of spinner rig that I used to good effect a couple of years ago. Comprises of a size 6 mugger hook that has a hair that's tied with some braid material, and it's got a waffler with a little topper on the top of it. So I want that to just literally just sit above, as close to the bottom as I can, but prominent enough for a carp to be inquisitive to pick it up. The hook link comprises of my favourite 25-pound Mirage, and my main line here is Tiger line. I've got 20-pound Tiger line, which I'm thoroughly enjoying using at the moment. So that is my setup for the margin. The one I've got slightly further out, I'm using a very similar method yet again, although I have decided to use a standard conventional spinner pop-up. Yeah, again, the pop-ups on the spinners, you're fishing very low. If you remove the ring like I do, I sort of go with just a loop system that I've shown before. So you're fishing very close to the bottom, but your presentation is absolutely cock on because the hook is prominent. It's able to go and find the bottom lip very easily, and it's not rattling around in the fish's mouth. I've also lost the leg core on this one. I've just kept a very short section of leg core for the purposes of the lead being able to come free, and we're using a bit of putty up the Tiger line to keep everything on the deck. Lastly, the one that I'm going to have out in the middle, going to have a lead free clip on it, and so they're all fishing similar, different baits, and are using different baiting applications that I'll lead on to. we'll see what happens, and if one works, then you can kind of adjust the others to suit. So let's see what happens. I've got some mainly boilie in crumb form and a bit of whole. Fast breakdown pellets, which give you a lovely carpet over the area, so very little food substance, but they give you a lovely attractor level, which are matching the bait I'm putting out there. And sweet corn. What carp doesn't love sweet corn? That's my choice, but whether it's right or wrong, we shall see. But it smells good. Oh, I've coated it in a load of amino as well, so lovely. So I'm going to have a little bit of this down in the edge. I'll try and bait the swimmer. And I'm going to spawn a few spawnfuls out into my central zone. So we'll see what happens.
Cheers. Right, Matt?
Yeah.
Are we going to net it inside you at me?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Okay. Right, just give it. Oh, how did we do it? It's the old that, isn't it? Right.
Yeah, just try and not poke the lead.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. Get the hook caught in the mess up. I did one. It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it took me a while to
Fine one, is it?
It took me a while to tune the old bit of thing, but it's alright.
I'm happy that my putter is so versatile. I can fish it shorter than a collie. Yeah. Shorter than a spinner.
It's enough whip. It makes it's not bad chuck with that. You know, big enough.
No, that's all right, isn't it? Not for that.
You again? What is it?
It's 25.
Is it? Well, I was closer than what you were.
Well, it's 20. Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. You sure it's not 24 or 14? Isn't it?
No, it's £25.
Is it really? What, on the nose?
Well, no, all of it, not just the nose.
You haven't got the 2 mud up with a 1, have you? It's not 14.
It's...
Like that. Look it up. Grating on something. I don't like this. What it is.
A bit of power. I was just feeling it sort of grating through and then it flicked out. I thought, oh, I've lost it. Really liking that sack there, eh? All alright. There. The mate's done what it's got to do. Watch those undercut sets. Back out the open. Get that net. Multitasking cameraman. I think this is a bit we're all worried about, aren't we? You fucking slippery slope. Then very little one. I don't think he's a monster. Alright, come on. Come on. Okay? Every time I lift him up. Alright. Come on. Come on. Come on. You try and get it out. Here we go. Come on. Come on. As soon as his head pokes out, that's it. That makes him. Yeah, we're a bit of sport, won't we? Bloody in it, mate. God, what a fight. It's exactly £22. Okay. Alright. Put a right scrap on. Middle rod, one over a bit of, I think put about 7 spons of the breakdown pellets, bit of corn, bit of salt. It's always a nice Himalayan salt this time of year. I didn't think we were going to get one because the fish have been showing in other areas, so it's not too bad. Let's have a look at the other side. Right. So what's the result then? I've been up since 5, maybe earlier. Seen a few fish around, but not on me. And I saw opposite Craig, I saw quite a bit fizzing, and I thought he's going to have one in a minute, but Matt had had one. And I saw a couple of bubblers coming over, but not, as I said, not quite on me. But this little 22 gave a good account for itself, and saved the blank, which makes a change, doesn't it? Yeah, lovely little fish. I'm going to treat it up with a little bit of spray, some antiseptic stuff. You should always do this, even if you haven't really got any marks. It's so good gear, this stuff. It's got that intensive care. Really is good gear. And get right in there. Can't overdo it. Turn it over. And always when you're moving them, just be very careful with their pecs. Keep that right down. Okay? Right down. We do not want. There we go. Bit of water. Mainly got me. Look. There we go. Do that roll. She ain't hanging him out. There we go. Lovely job. Well, that's it then. Nearly come to an end of, well, I ain't blanked. But it was quite hard work. Yeah, so I just had one 22 pounder off the middle rod. And I didn't think I was going to get that, for be honest with you. There was most of the activity was going on over the other side of the lake. Matt, who was over there, done very well. I think he finished on about 9 this week. Matt, another Matt Eaton up the end there. He moved in after Dave Lane. I think he's had 3. I might be doing him some injustice there. I think he might have had 4. There's a lot of fish up there. They're all in the snags, so he's been fishing up to them, and it's a little bit of hook and hold, and so he's had a couple of hook pulls. But the weather is just, middle of May. It's actually got a bit of heat to it at last. It feels a little bit more like we'd expect this time of year, but it hasn't stopped raining. If you have a look behind me, that's my chair. It's submerged in like a foot of mud. I won't even elaborate the story what happened last night with me going straight through that. But no, it's been nice. It's been something a little bit different. And yes, I would have liked to have experimented a bit more with some of the stuff that I'm doing, and so that I can take it to my syndicate. And as I've mentioned, these are the sort of times where you can have that play. Where if you're on a lake like I am, and you only get a few bites a year, it's not a place to experiment. So over here, it's good to have a go, but it's been quite tough. Chris next door, down here, he blanked last night. He said there was nothing doing, and I was up really early this morning, so I'm a bit tired. But I did, they were showing last night, and you could hear them, but not really on me. I sound like I'm just doing all my excuses, so I'm very, very chuffed that I actually had one, because otherwise that would have been another failed. But no, we go with our head held high out of those gates, and hopefully we do it again.